Hey everybody, I want to Wiisdom here at 2:01 in the morning. We've taken Barbella through her base upgrades and I stopped and I checked out Ambush's Soul Gem with the Yo-Yo Forest Ranger path. Good news, bad news. Good news, at least for me, it did not do any more damage. Knock on you. That's what it's called, right? Let me get the spreadsheet. Wood knocks you. Still did 99 to 149, even with this super impressive Soul Gem, which that thing is crazy. But so, what we're gonna do here, I've got to reset Ambush and get him money, and I will also need to reset Barbella and get her money. Again, if you've seen my money trick, I like to use 2 Skylanders at once because I'm thrifty. Why would I do that twice when I could get 2 for 1? It makes no sense. So that's kind of one of the driving forces in what I do here. But her base upgrade's very complex, takes a little bit to analyze, but very potent, and that's the most important thing. So what we're going to do now, I am pretty confident I am going to like her top path, Seismic Smasher, the best. It's just more of a sure thing for me. I'm going to absolutely like that. Anytime you just straight up increase the primary, that's golden. And Rocky Roads, in addition to being a cool name, I love that. It's just gonna be the way I play the game. That'll suit me. This one, I don't know. And then this path is full of a bunch of I don't knows. So we're gonna find out what these would be. My apologies. We won't do her Sky Chi this time, for the simple fact I would have to go play through Scholarville without her to get it, so we don't increase, stats and damage numbers. We had it, but then we lost it when I reset her to take her back from level 2, which she got in the Earth Sensei realm, which that was before I knew that leveling your Skylanders up would totally screw the stats and attack damage numbers that we're trying to baseline here. Keyword baseline. So, needless to say, whenever I reset her and grind out the money, I will then take her back to Scholarville, and we're going to go back to the Sensei Shrine and get her Sky Chi again, and then I'll showcase it when we do the top path, which I'm pretty confident I'm going to prefer. But you never know until you do, and so that's what we're gonna get started with here. Ruler of Rocks, that's what this upgrade video is all about, and that's what we're going to make it. Rock crystals are easier to make and are stronger. And I'm not a big fan of the rock crystals based on the base upgrades, so we're just going to roll with it. Something I said at the end of her base upgrade videos, what the heck happened to the tertiary attack? Like the cubic runic rock? I kind of like that thing, and it's just gone. We never again see it, and that's sad to me. But that said, let's get started here. For the pass, you will need 6,900, and then the Soul Gem is 4,000, so your total between the path and the Soul Gem, 10,900. As best I remember, I think her Soul Gem was in Chapter 1, Level 1, Realm Run, Cradle of Creation. Realm 1. I think that was a tongue twister. And then, of course, Scholarville is a shrine. But let's just buy it and see what we got. So damaging enemies, sometimes, that's a word you hate to see in an upgrade. Let me pay 1,700 to sometimes have something spawn. Damaging enemies sometimes spawns a rock crystal. And I assume that the rock crystals are still going to do 7 damage when the enemy walks into them. And if you can ever actually hit one, I assume it would still do 15, which... yawn, that does not impress me. So, let's see if we can defeat an enemy and get one of these to spawn. Oh wait, hitting an enemy does it.
Feel that burn.
Okay, walk into that. Come over here. Go, you fool. What a waste you are. Still 7. And I still can't hit the crystals to send them at the enemy. Man, this is... Okay, so they do actually spawn way more often than I thought they would. So that's good. That's actually refreshing. Come out here so I can send this at you, please. They're actually spawning almost every time. There's a big difference in every time and sometime. But I saw what I needed to. They're still going to do 7 and 15. So, Ruler of the Rocks. Hitting enemies may spawn crystals. Still, anytime you see still in my spreadsheets, you know I'm not happy. Still 7 to 11, 15 to 23. So, boom. Simple. But let's check this out. Swing. Got 2 of them. Okay. Wow. And then I guess they triggered themselves in? Oh, that was nearly positioned optimally, but yet I can't hit that. You know? It's like, Alright, well, you can see the issues I have with this path, but it's still got potential. We'll say that. Alright, so damaging enemies, sometimes, which seems to be, and really, you don't have to just use your primary there, do you? Let's get this bad boy in here. No, look at all them crystals. I know they spawn some on their own, but even when he walks into said crystals, that can generate more crystals. So this is actually a lot better, than I thought it was. Is he still alive? Who cares? I don't. You shouldn't either. Alright. Rocky Rebound. Rock crystals will return to their targets when they fly out. I also had no clue what to expect from this. And I didn't see anything about increased damage. Granted, we're getting to a point where there's so frickin' many of them, you know. So let's do this. Okay, walk into that, please. Thank you. Oh. Oh, I like that. It's still no change in damage, but that actually makes them way more practical. Beforehand, number 1 issue, it's very hard to hit those things. Number 2 issue, when you do hit them, they kind of like don't go, where you need them to or where you want them to. That kind of takes that out of the equation. So, Rocky Rebound, crystals, launch back at target. If you don't understand that, I can't explain it any better. That's kind of how the game worded it. You can just watch the video if you're looking at the spreadsheet only. Main thing is still 15 to 23. In fact, let me go back in and put that. Still. It's critical we have that in there. Still 15 to 23. But again, that is actually practical. If you're the person that's like, oh, these are so cool, they're jumping jacks, and wow, there's so many of them. That is a very practical addition to someone that prefers that. So,
I can definitely improve on these numbers.
Final, this is so much easier to document than her pace upgrades. Final one here on Ruler of the Rocks, Bolder and All the Wiser. Rock crystals spawn more frequently when they were already spawning pretty frequently. That's sometimes very misleading. When damaging enemies, rock crystals critically hit on their return trip. Now, there's nothing about increased damage, so I'm assuming, we launch them and they do 15 to 23. When they come back, they're going to do 23 only. If they didn't increase that, that might be a deal breaker for some of you. Well, let's figure it out. Alright, get yourself in here, fool. Smash him that way. Gonna hit that? No. Come on. Well, there you have. Oh, man. This is so difficult. I can't even begin to tell you how challenging it is for me to do this.
No pain, no gain. Right,
Oh,
guys?
man. Okay, can we hit one of these guys with one of these? And if we do, we won't be able to see him, right? Oh, 11 and 23. So maybe it passed back through him? Is that what it was doing? Huh. No, there's just a ton of these things, dude. The crystal. It's like she's incapable of swinging that low. Like when you start playing golf. Well, I don't know if you've done that, but and people, it's like they're just cutting over the top of the ball and it just was rolling across the grass, and they're like, man, I don't understand this. I only did 11. And you're trying to explain to them Like, the secret to get the ball up is to swing down.
Oh,
You know, like, you're better
Feel
off
that
taking a
burn.
chunk of the earth out of the ground to get that ball flying in the sky. And people have a hard time with that because they're like, no, 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 I need to, I know what I'm doing. And then they continue to just like clip the top quarter of the ball, and sometimes it'll arc up, and travel 3 feet in front of them. And then, it's like, no, you got to swing down, And then you come in and you swing it through, the tall grass, and then the ball just lofts up into the sky. And they're like, how did you do that? And it's like, swing down. And then they're like, really? And it's like, yeah, trust me, swing down. And then they go and they like, divot out a giant chunk of grass and miss the ball, and they're like, oh, you jerk. And you're like, no, 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 do it again. And then eventually, they quit taking out so much of the earth, and they actually kind of get underneath the ball too, and they're like, oh my gosh, I get it. It makes sense now. And that's the issue I've got. It's like, that little crystal's here, Barbella, and she's just like, ah, and I mean, it's not really her fault. I mean, she's swinging that thing at your face. It's like if you tell someone, it's like, okay, I want you to throw this ball and hit me in the chest. She's got that down, and it's like, all right, now I want you to take this ball and hit me in the knee. And she like hits you, a little lower on the chest, and it's like, all right, now I want you to take the ball and I want you to throw it and hit my ankles. And she swings and she hits you square in the chest. you know. And I think a big part of the problem is honestly this confined area and having the wall there. But like, I'm trying really hard to hit those things. And then of course you've also got to have previously hit something for it to hone in on them. But perhaps in like an arena would be a better place to showcase this sort of a thing.
No pain, no gain.
But
Right,
again,
guys?
if you like this, I think it's gonna work well. So, crystals, critical hit on return trip, 11 or 23. So I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure on this, and I don't really honestly care to take the time to do it. But I'm thinking, like, say that I've got dummy 1 and dummy 2. And dummy 1 is who I hit with the crystal. And the crystal passes through him at 15, and then it's coming back. And it's going to hit him at 23. But dummy 2 has somehow, like, lined himself up in the path of dummy 1. Like, he's back here behind him as they're teaming up on me, right? And so dummy 2's like, I got your back, dummy 1. And then dummy 2 takes an 11 hit, a critical of 11, and then dummy 1 takes the 23. I kind of think that's how it pans out. I could be wrong, but like I said, it's not really that big of a deal to me because these are just so hard to manipulate in the manner that I feel like anytime you do the damage, it's going to be good, it's going to be beneficial, but it's going to be a rare situation where like, I'm going to set this up and we're just going to string together this incredible shot. It's not going to happen. It's just going to be, oh hey, look, I got a critical, and wow, that actually hit someone, and oh cool, now it's doing more damage. That's my take on that. So, that said, you do get way more of those crystals than I thought you would, which again, I always say this, even with the Skylanders that like shoot, and they do like 5 to 8, and people are like, oh, worst Skylander ever. And then I say, no, 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 no. You look how fast that thing fires, If you go DPS, we're talking damage per second. Barbella may swing this thing fairly quick, but that's, she's going to max that thing out at 31. And then if old Trigger Happy over here can shoot 5 to 8, 9 times, his DPS is 45. That's 14 greater than 31, therefore better, So that's 7 to 11, 15 to 23. Don't discount it, but I do have to say it's kind of disappointing to have taken a path solely dedicated to that sort of a thing and to never see the crystals increase in damage. I want to check this. I really like this too, and it's doing the same damage. Look how many more crystals we have. Ooh, we actually, that's really your best bet.
Barely broke a
That
sweat.
thing there,
Too
man.
bad.
I wonder why they didn't ever give us that back. I guess they just think it's like that good, or maybe they're just like forgot about it. I don't know. Nonetheless, we got a soul gem to check out,
Yeah. Check out those
and I'm almost
measurements.
99% sure I will like the top path better. Previously stated, I was around 90%. This isn't bad, but it doesn't suit my playstyle. It's not as practical as I feel this is going to be. This, I'm not really quite sure what it's going to do. Right here, that's the winner. It just simply increases. Such a simplistic thing, it's a guarantee. I love it. It could take me from 31 to 35 and I'd be happy. Anything on top of that is gravy. And if we get even more, it's icing on the gravy. But right here, Rocky Roads, I'm super excited about. So I think I will definitely prefer that. But this one, I mean, if you got two Barbellas, or if you're just, she's fine. She's fine. Doesn't need to upgrade her primary. Let's do this one. It's not horrible. It's just, with this, I can be like, alright, I'm going to set up Rocky Roads, and it's going to be so cool. With this one, you just kind of like free for all, and you have kind of just mass chaos on the screen. So, and some people prefer that. So, that said, regardless, we get taken for granted. Press BB, so 5 Bs to buff yourself. You take less damage. Rock crystals spawn over time. X pulls rock crystals. Now, this might actually tie in nicely with this one, because you're just going to have so many more freaking rock crystals. And then again, remember, the rock crystals that spawn over time, if they damage enemies, they run the chance of spawning in more rock crystals. And then the big thing is going to be X pulls rock crystals. So I assume that means if I swing, it's going to, do something with the crystals. Let's find out. Alright. Here we go. So B B B B B B B. Got to do it 5 times. Okay. Still hard to. So basically, that means it's gonna pull the crystals to me. It's nothing quite as awesome as I had imagined it in my head. Huh, okay. I was kind of thinking it would like draw all of them like a magnet, and then you just do like some massively crazy, like 780 damage or something, So, let's count the duration on this. Oh, we didn't do it. I got 18 seconds, so 18 seconds, give or take a little bit. It's not scientific what I do, but it's consistent with what I count. So these guys don't show damage, sadly. That would be nice if they did. We want to make sure these are still doing the 7 to 11 and the 15 to 23. There we go. When she slams that down, she means business. Oh, they're doing 10 now. Good lord. Oh, they do way more damage.
No pain, no gain. Right, bad guy?
Oh, they do more damage across the board. It's so hard to tell what the heck is going on. Yeah. $15 and $30. Let's see. Alright. Beast mode initiated. Getting these guys in as quick as I can. Don't go. Oh, Barbella. Crazy lady. It's over. It's over, Barbella. What in the world is happening? It's just. Yeah. The 31, I understand. It's just. The thing. It's happening so fast. That switch is the most ill-placed thing I've ever seen. Alright. So, let's go to Old Faithful here. No, never mind. Oh, nobody's here. Splendid. I don't, you know, I really just don't care. You know, you've seen what it is. You can determine for yourself what it's doing and when it's doing it and at what rates it's doing it. And, you know, I just... Would you get over here, minion? Oh, you suck. You suck so bad, minion. You know, it's 2:22 in the morning. I need to start getting more sleep. And, I just, you know, it's too much to take in, you know. When I slow it down in editing, maybe I can tell better, but truth be told, I'm not too concerned about it. You got 10 from the things, and, you know. I'm trying to see now. It's interesting that the damage numbers went up for the standard stuff. This is not the soul gem, you know.
No pain, no gain.
The biggest thing on the soul gem for me is probably the armor gain. What is the 15 and 30? It's like they're both happening on the return trip. Of course we can't hit that crystal. Jeez. You know? Alright, let's get 4 of these guys in here. Alright. Buff yourself, girl. Okay. X is not drawing them to me. I see 15s and 30s and I don't really understand. Like, you know. Huh. It's so freaking impossible to hit these things too. Oh my gosh. I feel like they're doing 10 to 15.
Barely broke a sweat.
Huh.
Too bad.
And that makes no sense. So the crystals are going to do 10 to 15 standing. And then projectile, they're going to do 15 was a critical and 30 was a critical. That makes no sense. Makes really no sense at all. Oh my lord. What do you have to do to hit these stupid things? Is that 15? And again, I do think part of it is just the constraints of this circle. See, it's returning back and doing 15 and 30. And 30 would be a critical for what? 20. So projectiles are doing... that makes no sense. Zero sense is made here. So I'm guessing it went up from 15 to 20? But yet sometimes there's a 15? I don't understand. Projectile. Oh. 20 to 30 with 10 to 15s as well. So yeah, have that. You just take that description and you enjoy it, because I'm burned out on that and I'm not going to do any more about it. So the main thing is 18 seconds. It's, again, the way I described this prior to the Soul Gem was just chaos. And the interesting thing, though, and something you do have to account for, the Soul Gem finally, why this didn't happen during any of the Ruler of the Rocks upgrades is beyond me. They still did the same exact freaking damage as they'd done the whole time. or at least since Have a Nice Day. But it upped the damage a little bit, and then that, of course, applies to everything on Ruler of the Rocks. Again, most of what I did here was not in the Soul Gem. When she's using the Soul Gem, she's got that golden aura around her. So that is beneficial to the entire path, albeit, very slight. It's not, you're going from like 7 to 10 and 15 23 to 20 to 30, but still it is significant. You do need to factor that in when you make your decisions. But I'm just pretty sure I'm gonna like Seismic Smasher, and I want to reset her and take it, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna edit videos, and then I'm gonna be working on getting her some cash. So that said, I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you want to take the time to pause the video and strictly analyze it and figure out what's happening exactly, when, where, how, and why, feel free to leave a comment, and I will gladly give you credit for your endeavors. But as is, I'm not too concerned about it. You see it, it's chaotic. It's, lots of little numbers, and they're very hard to execute as you would desire, but they are there, and it is worth noting. So, hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on Barbella's Ruler of the Rocks upgrade path. And again, haven't taken Seismic Smasher. Pretty sure I'm going to like it better. Pretty sure it's going to be the better path overall, but we don't know that for sure till we take it. So if you've got any thoughts on the matter, if you've taken both, if you've taken one or the other, if you've already got your favorite, let me know your thoughts down below. Hashtag Ruler of Rocks is what we'll do. Hashtag Ruler of Rocks will get you a bonus brick in the Wall of Wiisdom. Wall of Wiisdom, of course, is made out of bricks, which are kind of rocks. And Wiisdom Plays Minecraft Solo PC Series, spiritual successor to Xbox One Solo Survival, whatever you want to dub it. But it's basically a way for you to get an in-game shout-out, so take advantage of that. OneOfWiisdom.com is my personal website. I created the Skylander Club forum for Portal Masters like yourself, SkylanderClub.com. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, follow me on Beam as well. If you did not know, I'm basically streaming the entire blind playthrough, and of course recording our Skylanders research. But stay tuned, and I will catch you back for more Skylanders Imaginators research.